Hey everyone, I'm Justin Carlucci here with the Times News, and I have Marissa Stohlein here. It's great to see you, and we just had a little bit of a conversation about what you and a group have been up to, since the pandemic and COVID-19. So, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what Carbon County Got You Covered is all about?
My name is Marissa Stohlein, and I actually am a newer resident of Carbon County. I moved here in November, but my family at Big Creek Vineyards, we've had a location in Jim Thorpe for almost 20 years. And right before all of this went down, I moved to the area. And I was invited by a friend of mine just to join a simple Facebook chat. It was just a couple of local women talking about what can we do. And we're very inspired by Mask Force 2020. Those are people doing amazing work up in the Lehigh Valley. And uh, it was just so simple. And I just want to impress that upon people. I am not like some fantastic person. I don't have a million hours a day. I don't have just average people coming together and saying, what can we do for our hometown? How can we throw down for our town? So Carbon County, initially we were just sewing masks for healthcare professionals. We donated like hundreds at this point to St. Luke's. We masked a couple of businesses. And then we started branching out and realizing that, for right now, the getting people masked who are in need is of utmost importance. There's very good science to back the reduction in transmission rate when both parties are masked, even if one of them is infected. So I do a lot of work with the West End Food Pantry, and I spoke with Karina Seck, the director there, who's such an admirable human. She's so much of this, and we get to senior citizens. So currently our initiative is to get home sewn masks for all of the seniors who about 45% of our clients are Carbon County and the rest are Monroe County. I believe something like 19% of our population are senior citizens. So our goal is to get 200 masks for them, and anything above and beyond that, we want to donate to nursing homes, other seniors in need, and just make sure that we are not letting anybody in our hometown fall through the cracks. And something else I just delivered today to an urgent care, a bunch of masks, but also ear protectors. That's another that we have been collecting. Some people crochet them, some people 3D print them, especially for people who are wearing these masks for like 8-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts. The skin behind your ears will actually start chafing away. So they're just simple little crocheted things with buttons on or something 3D printed that you hook the ear straps on the back of your head to take the pressure off of the ears. So basically, we're just a group of people, smaller than you'd think, who have come together to do. And I will fully admit that I am a humble footnote, way, 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 way down there on the totem pole of people who have risen and gone above and beyond to help other people during this crisis. So, you don't need to be a hero.
Yeah, I saw that you said in your upcoming article here with Rich Strack, you made about 200 masks, give or take. And I was just curious about, or 300 masks, I'm sorry, the process behind making, one mask and what it entails and kind of like how long does that take?
Well, it depends on the equipment that you would have. You need to cut the fabric. You need a lot of these masks. There are different kinds. There are ones for to serve for the N95 respirator mask. That's a special kind of mask. There are other ones that people will put pockets in so that you can put a filter in, and those would be more for like civilian people who aren't like in an emergency room. Um, it all depends on the person. I will tell you this. I do know that one of our most prolific sewers, that woman suffers with horrible pain in her hands. And she does this, and she does this. So it depends entirely on the person and on the equipment that they have. Not everybody has a sewing machine, but there are so many parts of the process that could be helped. Like, for instance, I had 2 people step forward and say, hey, I don't have a sewing machine, but I could cut fabric. That's a huge help. That is a huge help. Jessica Lee, who is one of the founding members, she made me these fantastic little laminated pieces that you just put on the fabric. You just trace them and cut them out. And basically what we like to do is we like to coordinate between people. So if you can cut fabric, great. I will get that into the hands of somebody who can sew it. If you just can buy a little cotton for us, awesome. I will get that where it needs to go. It can be, there are some people who will be able to whip them out in a couple hours, a bunch, like 25 of them. There are other people. I know another one of our sewers actually showed me a screamingly hilarious picture. She has all these adorable young children at home, and she had created like a furniture bear, her sewing station in the house, because she's got, they're excited mom's home. So it's different for everybody, but it's definitely a labor of love.
Absolutely. Who are some of the people involved? I know, you talked about your group, and I know there's a bunch of volunteers from all over that are involved in your group. So, kind of who are some of the people that you've kind of been through this process with so far?
So Kathleen Fisher and Jessica Lee, they are the other 2 coordinators. Kathleen Fisher in particular is a tireless worker at this. And I also would like to shout out to Donna Laviola. She actually sewed ones that were reversible that I was able to donate. I would like to shout out Georgianne Petrulski. She's the one who's been making the little crocheted ear protectors, and when I dropped those off today, those people were so grateful. The woman told me, I literally feel immediate relief. So shout out to Georgianne. Allie Lee, Allie Getz, sorry, she sewed for us. Oh my goodness, I hope I'm not forgetting everybody, but we have had, Walmart Lee Heighton donated $100 to us. The Carbon County Community Foundation helped us secure that donation. Amber Finsel there has been a great help to us. Oh my gosh, this is my ultimate fear that I'm forgetting to say thank you to somebody.
Maybe if I have another quick thought for you, maybe you'll think of some other people while I'm talking here. But I was just gonna ask you, if someone new or someone else wanted to get involved, how would they? What's the best method to get in touch with you, or maybe join the group on Facebook?
Absolutely. You just go to facebook.com/carbon HYC. HYC stands for Has You Covered. So Carbon HYC. We are answering those messages all day. You can email me personally at marissa.stohlein@gmail.com. Okay. So just reach out to us, and whatever it is that you're able to do, we would love to hear from you.
It's almost hard to wrap your head around what's going on in the world today. I mean, 6 months ago, did you ever think we'd be having this conversation about, making masks and with everything that's going on? I mean, it's just, it's hard to, the shortage of supplies that we're seeing healthcare workers have, it's heartbreaking. And all these people battling on the front lines. It's crazy times in the world right now in 2020.
I would not have predicted this, no, but I will tell you this. I have unfortunately learned many times in life that the world is chaos. None of us has any control over the circumstances that we face. Just when you think you have your feet under you, be ripped right out from under. And I know I'm speaking for a lot of people when I say that sometimes death will swoop down on big wings and that we are not in control. There is one thing that you control: how you respond. Some people, the best that they can do is survive, get out of bed every day, maybe not even that. For some people, the best that they can do is to check up on a loved one or to make funny videos to make their friends laugh.
Absolutely.
We have to make the decision that many other generations of Americans and humans have made before us, to face what is happening with dignity, grace, compassion, and strength.
Absolutely.
We have to make sure and take personal responsibility for whatever we can contribute, because a lot of people are talking about like, oh, well, you're expecting someone to ride in and save you, like, oh, well, this person, this politician, this institution. Is you.
Absolutely.
I told this to the gentleman from your paper who interviewed me before. I said, when you see something on the, you think to yourself, my God, somebody ought to do something about that. You have to remember that you are somebody. We have no idea how this is going to develop. We have no idea if it's going to get immeasurably worse or better like that. I have my own, I'm very hopeful, but I am also very realistic. I think in this time, it can be so easy to look inward at the self, or to individualize this crisis by like, look at that person, they're not doing it right, or oh, I disagree with this. Whatever you want to focus on to get through this, that's fine. But for those of you out there who feel compelled to reflect on your behavior, to contribute back to your community, nurture that feeling. That is your power. Remember that the most political and powerful thing that you do is where you spend your money. Are you supporting local businesses that are worried about having to close down? Are you seeing if there are alternatives close to you, making sure your friends and neighbors are all right? I think another thing that I like to remind people of is that the most valuable currency that any of us has to spend in this modern world, this modern technological world, is our attention. Where are you focusing your attention? These are the things that you have control over.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, and even if it's like, look, our mask making efforts, there are church groups out there, way more masks than our little group has managed thus far. I guarantee you there are people out there who are doing so much that are not, not being interviewed. And even if you're not able to do so much, even if you're only able to do just a little bit, that little bit matters to someone. It was not one person that, won the Revolutionary War. It was not one person that made the Civil Rights Movement happen. It was not one person that has brought about collective change for the better. It is a movement of people. It is a group of people. And there is something beautiful about serving as a cog in a great machinery that has a cause beyond yourself. So this is the little bit that I can do.
Well,
Just,
I love what you guys are doing, and thank you for all of your efforts, you and your entire group that seems to be growing. And you guys have a lot of positivity, a lot of good things going on. So for seniors, you talked about recently. Anything else, Marissa, before we wrap up here? Anybody else you want to give a shout out to, or anything in closing?
Well, I would just like to tell all of my friends and neighbors that whatever it is we can do to help you, we will. And we've got you covered.
Awesome. Marissa, thank you so much for joining me. I know, you got a lot going on, wrapping up a busy week here, and I'm looking forward to seeing that article written by Rich Strack coming up in our Times News in the near future. So thanks again, and stay well, Marissa.
You too. You take care.
All right. Thank
Bye.
you.